Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. And so today we are going to be doing a throttle body service on this 2017 Toyota Corolla. This one is equipped with the 2ZR FE 1.8 liter engine, and I'm going to be using the CRC throttle body cleaner. Now you can use any type of cleaner as long as it's for throttle bodies. So the first thing we are going to do is just remove the engine cover. You want to lift up at one corner at a time. You don't want to lift up at both corners at the same time, because then it's possible that you can break this. Now, a while ago, I was just replacing the spark plugs, so I recommended a package to the customer to do the spark plugs and throttle body service as a maintenance item. And so I just recently replaced the spark plugs. I'll post that on the screen and in the description, as well as in the comments section below. So the first thing you want to do is to use a 10 millimeter, either a hex screwdriver or socket and ratchet, and to loosen up the clamp on the throttle body. You probably want to remove this clamp as well to get this out of the way. You probably want to loosen up the one that's on the airbox. Now, if you're having trouble in loosening these, you can spray a little bit of penetrating oil on here, and it will make removal easier. So you can spray some penetrating oil on the threads, or WD-40, and it'll make it easier to unscrew. So we're going to remove this carefully by twisting it and pulling on it carefully without damaging anything. You can just get this out of the way. You don't need to remove everything completely. You just need enough space just to do the cleaning, and you should be okay. If it does get in the way, if you want, you can just take this out, and then it just comes off just like that. And we don't have to bother with that being in the way. So this throttle body is not all too dirty, just a tiny bit from behind there. So we're still gonna spray it down, get some cleaner inside the intake, so it'll clean a little bit down. This one is not too dirty at all. It's fairly clean. But this will clean a tiny bit of the intake valves and stuff as well. Just a tiny bit. So we can use like a shop rag or a toothbrush to get inside there to clean the carbon up. And sometimes you can turn the ignition to on with the gas pedal all the way to the floor. You can use a an accelerator depressor tool if you want. I don't recommend doing that. You can. I don't think you will damage anything, but I don't think at the same time, I don't think it's recommended. It could damage the motor. So, but I have done it before in the past and I haven't had issues. So either way probably works. But proceed at your own risk. So the vehicle is off right now, so I'm just opening this up manually. There's not that much carbon inside. I'm gonna grab a toothbrush and clean the inside of there. You can just use a old toothbrush or whatever to clean it. It will not damage anything. It's perfectly safe as long as the bristles are soft. This is an old one that I've used on quite a few cars now. So just I'm cleaning the inside up. There are sometimes you won't be able to get everything cleaned up by using a shop rag or a shop towel. So a toothbrush works best to get inside the small areas. And typically you don't want to spray too much of the cleaner, because then you are going to flood the engine up. So you just want to spray uh, just enough, but still be okay in most cases. Just you want to be able to clean absolutely everywhere in the inside. Just trying to get the black stuff, the carbon, and the varnish out. You definitely do not want to use the entire can. This is probably good for maybe 2 or 3 vehicles, so we don't need to use the entire can. It's fairly clean, so we want to leave it at that. And then that's it. So once you're done, you just need to reinstall the duct work back in here. You need to line everything up, so you need to make sure that the rubber lines up against the throttle body. You want to make sure that the 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 rubber on the duct lines up on the mark here on where the throttle body is, to make sure everything is lined up properly before you tighten it up. So I'm just going to make sure this is installed all the way. Install the vacuum hose back in the clamp. You may need to take this out again. It's caught on where the bolt is. Make sure everything is in properly, and then you can proceed to to tighten up the clamps, because you don't want these going loose. You can tighten up the clamps until it's tight. You don't want to over tighten it. And you should be all good to go. We're going to install the engine cover now. And then after, we're going to start the vehicle, so to get rid of all of the cleaner out. Once you're done with that, make sure everything is secured. Reinstall the engine cover. You should be all good to go after that. And now there is a relearn procedure, but on this vehicle, you don't really need to relearn the throttle position. You can just idle the vehicle with all of the accessories off until it reaches operating temperature, and then you can just drive the vehicle, do a road test for a good 15 to 20 minutes of mixed driving, and you should be able to relearn the throttle position by itself. In case that you are not able to relearn the throttle position, or you're having an erratic idle or issues idling the vehicle, then you may need to use a high level scan to force to to relearn the throttle position. But I know on some cars you can just drive the vehicle normally and you should be okay. So I'm going to start the vehicle now. I might have a hard time trying to start it, but we'll see on what happens. I'm hitting the accelerator slightly just to get the cleaner out. Just raising the RPM slightly. I don't want to kill it, so that I can let the engine idle and to get the cleaner out. And then later we are gonna go for a road test and to get everything cleaned up, get all the cleaner out, and to relearn the idle after that. So there's a lot of smoke coming out of the tailpipe, but that should uh, that that should stop after some time, as soon as the cleaner is all done. So I already checked on service information. There isn't really a specific procedure for relearning the idle. It's just saying to idle the vehicle with all of the accessories off, and then after that you can just drive the vehicle normally. And I saw somewhere it should be between I think 600 and 700 RPM idle. Just make sure the accessories are off and the AC is also off until you have driven the vehicle for 15-20 minutes or so. And sometimes it may take a little longer to relearn the idle in some circumstances. So now I'm just gonna go for a road test just to make sure that everything is okay, and just to verify that everything is good, and then that's it. So after you come back from the road test, you should see that the idle should settle down. So it should be like roughly, it looks like between uh, it says in the service information between 600 and 700 RPM, but I will put the specifications on the screen. So it's roughly at about 800 RPM or so, just under 1000. Each dash mark over here is 250 RPM. So I see three small ones. So it should be 250, 500, 750, and it's between the 1 and 750. So I can say it's roughly about 8 or 900 RPM, and that's usually okay. If you see that the RPM is how it is now, then and it means that the idle has been learned properly. If for any reason that the engine is shaky or the RPM is not stable, you probably have to drive it for a little bit longer until the computer can relearn the new idle speed. On these Toyota vehicles, you don't really have to do a relearn procedure. In a majority of cases, I just drive the vehicle normally, and then it's going to relearn on its own. So far, I probably drove around like 4 kilometers, so probably like 5 to 10 minutes of driving. You probably have to drive it a little bit longer depending on the circumstances. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please don't forget to give it a like, and please consider subscribing to my channel if you're not already a subscriber, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day and take care.